Alright, let's get everything sent out. Get the twits. It's not Twitter. Well, no, it is Twitter. Whatever. Alright, let's go ahead and get this sent out. And cool. So everything should be hooked up. Alright. Hello, everyone. This is Chris Ingerson, and it is February 20th. And this is the February 20th DexQuest Devstream. So, today we're going to be taking it a little easy today, and I guess pay attention to the cat, because it's been 5 seconds of the dev stream and she just wants so much attention. And we're going to be doing some project cleanup today, specifically trying to clear out a couple of these warnings, which I think will largely be things that we just ignore, mostly because they're dealing with substance stuff, but I'd like to get as few warnings as possible. I think a lot of this is going to be just warnings for substance stuff and then third-party assets, which I can't really touch, but I can try to update. And then we'll be going through a quick playthrough of the game from start to... I guess we'll probably do it through the sewer level first. Well, through the castle level first, and then we'll go on to the sewer level, and we'll see what's really eating into our performance in those levels. Okay, so... let's go ahead and before I clear this, I already know that there is one warning that I'm going to fix, which is, so at some point in the past when I was having a bug with pressing escape opening the pause menu twice, which essentially opened and then closed it, I added this little is opening bool check, and we never really ended up doing well. It was useful for a little bit, but I don't really need it anymore, so it's throwing a warning because all this does is just get assigned to it. It's never actually used. So we're gonna get rid of that. Do a little bit of sort of like house cleaning for the most part. Nothing really radical, just getting rid of chunks of code that we don't really use. All right, so let's go ahead. This stuff because that is no longer the case. At least it shouldn't be. There it is. Alright, so let's back out. And yeah, that's probably good. Oh, look at that. Got rid of an entire using. Sweet. Let that compile. So it's going to be a little bit of a slower day on the stream. Mostly we're not going to be doing anything too crazy, but we will be talking code and general performance improvements and best practices when dealing with code, and we'll also be seeing some areas that I've not really profiled yet, specifically the castle. I'm actually kind of curious to know how much garbage is being generated in there just passively, and then where our actual pain points are when it comes to just playing the game. Let's see here. Because, I mean, the fact that we're dealing with strings all the time means that we're going to get some amount of garbage pretty much any time you interact with it. Well, we are definitely going to get some amount of garbage every time you interact with an object. Okay, so let's see here. New player movement is something else, so we will overlook that for the time being. Level zone. Okay. See what we got here. Find all references. We don't have any references. Okay, well then it can go away. Get rid of that. Let's just keep working up the chain here. Hello, Bo. Welcome back. How are you doing today? Tonight? Today, depending on where you are in the world, I guess. Alright, so do I even reference crossfade? I do not. Haha! Hooray for cleaning up terrible code. I don't know why I'm so excited about deleting one line of code. Okay, let's see here. Session... That can't be right. Really? This is never used? Hold on. This might be what I was... Ah, here we are. Yeah. Autosave file path, and that was for the string builder autosave file. Okay. Good, it's 7:06 p.m. Ah, 7:06 p.m. where I am too. How about you? I am doing so-so. little bit of a late night last night, so I'm kind of drained, which is why we're going to be kind of taking it easy today and doing mostly code stuff. Um, but hopefully we'll make some nice progress. Get some nice, much needed code cleanup. I actually might, well, I guess I wouldn't do that on the stream, but I might make my Mac build tonight, give that a run through, and see how performant it is. Had to get up at 7 a.m. today. Well, that's earlier than I had to get up, um, and that's also later than I had to than I stayed up. So you win that one. Uh, you win that fight. I'll give you that one. Um, man, what were you up till 6 doing? That is a late night. Let's see. Autosave file. So we need to populate this string. So this is I was starting to cache all of my string paths because every time I was accessing them for things like finding the autosave path or finding where my save files were all loaded, I was doing a bunch of string concatenation. So I moved that into a cached string because once you boot up the game, you're not going to change that path. So this is part of that caching that I guess that did not get finished this weekend. Dang, watching YouTube and movies. Even I have trouble staying up till 6 a.m. just doing that. That's usually like a 3 a.m. thing. Yeah. No, I've definitely had those nights though where I kind of lose track of time and I just realize that the sun has come up and then I'm mad because the sun has come up and it shouldn't be up this early. Okay, so let's go down here to, let's see, autosave index, no, right about here. So we want to change this. Well, let's see, save directory path. Okay, so that's just making sure that it exists. And then after that, we're going to say save, I guess it's autosave file. Autosave file. What am I doing? Say if autosave file.length is equal to 0. Then we'll say autosave file is equal to new. Yeah, well, not new. We'll just say dot append. And then we will append a bunch of stuff. So we're going to say save directory path first, followed by our separator char, and then eventually our formatting. And this is where things are going to get kind of weird. Actually, we're going to just, yeah, okay, so we'll do this, save directory path, then we're going to have our separator char. This is the path separator for file paths. And then we're going to put in the autosave file name, but we're not going to do the formatting yet. Because for formatting, we want to do this. Although, admittedly, I don't actually recall if this is going... That's right, I wanted to test this. So I'm going to have to test this in an empty scene real quick. Because I don't remember if my format non-alloc function is going to do exactly what I expect it to. It should, but I want to make sure that it actually does. Let that compile, I guess. Can I clap? Can you hear that? Now I'm paranoid. Because I'm terrified that it might not... Well, actually, that doesn't make sense. You've been responding to me, so I guess you could have. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to a new scene real quick. We're just going to make a quick test script. We'll put that in the test section. Here, all right. So we'll just go ahead and say create C# script. We'll call this auto save test. And all this is going to do is just debug that value so that I know what it is. I really do need to get... I actually have a clapping animation for my avatar there. I never know how I would want that to happen. I would have to have it react to loud clap noises somehow to isolate that specifically. But that would be pretty funny. Alright, so for this, we're just going to say... Well, let's probably should be in the text quest namespace. So private void. We'll actually do this in update, and I'm just going to say if input.get key down, key code.space. If we hit space, then we're just going to debug that value. So I'm going to say debug. Wow, desbug. That is not how you spell debug. Debug.log. And we want it to be session utility.auto save file path, I believe. Correct? Yes. All right. So let's see what that outputs. It should be something like well, it'll be the path to my project and then up one and then saves. And I think that's it. Because essentially all I'm trying to do is, dang it, I hesitated. There we go. Show an Explorer real quick. Essentially all we're trying to get to is here. So this folder, which should just have autosave 1 and 1. All right, let's go ahead and clear that. Hit play. Why did I do that? I haven't actually set anything up. That was stupid of me. Let's put that on the camera. Well, here we go. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. It's gonna keep appending it. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Although interesting, it doesn't wrap either. It just keeps going up. Well, that's not okay. That means it's not doing something right. Let's see here. Oh, funny. This is the exact same code that I just did. Right, that's why I commented this stuff back to how it was. So I need to change my formatting. So I might actually go ahead and change this real quick. So I'm going to go to definition. This is going to be a bit of an interesting oddity. So this format non-alloc function is something that I put together based off of another person's existing code base. It's mostly the same code that they had, just with minor alterations so that I can use it in a wider variety of cases. And the main point was that it doesn't generate garbage when I do formatting this way. That being said, I basically need to have the exact same function, but without this string key, because this string key is being appended, and I don't want that. Instead, I just want it to be swapped out in the actual string builder itself. Okay, that's going to be fun. Jeez. So we are going to come up here, and we're going to go ahead and say public static string builder format non-alloc, give it a T, and this is going to be this string builder value. So that's the string builder that we're going to format. And for now, we'll just say return value. And where, wow, I can't even spell where T derives from iConvertible. So this iConvertible interface is why we're able to convert this stuff without garbage generation, because you can do a garbage-free version of conversion with classes derived from iConvertible. All right, so from here, we're going to have some fun times. We are going to essentially duplicate this massive function here, and we are going to have it, jeez, it's so freaking ridiculously big. We're going to copy this, and we're going to paste it, I guess, above it. Probably makes the most sense. Okay, so we're going to come up here, and we are going to get rid of this string key here. Okay, so that's all good, and now we get the fun part. So we're going to convert our key length to just value.length. So value.length, value of index. Okay, so we are not going to do this chunk because we don't actually care about appending. Just gonna get rid of that. Okay, go ahead and fix this. And I guess while I'm doing this, did you see anything super fun, I guess, while you were browsing YouTube? Into the wee hours of the morning. I've been trying to find some new stuff on there. Been getting into animation actually a lot. I recently found Super Science Friends, I think, and it's pretty well animated. It actually feels a lot like a show you would see on something like Cartoon Network. I was actually pretty surprised by it. I was also mostly amused because let's go ahead and save this real quick. Because that show had one scene where Nikola Tesla was playing D&D with Carl Sagan, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and Stephen Hawking, and it was amazing. Nothing too particular standing out. That's a shame. Minute physics. I'm assuming that's just like a quick summary of some sort of physical law or existing physics idea. Let's see. So we don't care about this part again. Okay. So I'm curious to know if this will work. Is verbatim range start even being used there? It's not. So we can get rid of this because we can't really do anything with that. Okay. So I'm going to try this to see what we can get from this. We're going to say value dot format non-alloc t. Oh wait, I'm sorry. T int, and then I think. Wait, what is going on here? Unreachable code. Oh, it's because it's doing that, right? I need to pass in so that'd be t arg0 arg0, and then I guess 0 0 0. No, does not like that, huh? Why do you not like that? Complex stuff explained quickly with a whiteboard. Yeah, I find that most things called minute something are not quite exactly a minute. Although some people do tend to are capable of getting in like right at 60 seconds. Why are you not going anywhere? Is it because I formatted this wrong? No, that seems to be fine. Let's go ahead and copy this. Maybe the name was slightly off. No? Okay. Well, let's try this again. Format non-alloc based on T. Oh, why do I do that? Based on T. Comma. So can I really not get around that? So key. There it is. So I can say T int followed by arg 0 0 0 0 0. Weird. I feel like that's the exact same thing I had before, just I had to retype it for some reason. Whatever. It works. Okay. So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and pretty much just copy this summary, paste that up here. Minute timer is usually true, unless it's 61 seconds, and then it's just a lie. Let's see. Let's go ahead and clear this. Wait, what? Hold on. Shoot. Did I not? What? Did I not copy it? Did I accidentally overwrite my own freaking... Seriously. Oy. That was my fault. I thought I copied that up, but I guess I didn't. Ah. Okay then. Let's go ahead and make this int. What am I doing here? Hold on. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, I messed up there. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. I started in the wrong area. That is my fault. But I will go ahead and keep this. So this is going to be an int. And this is going to be targ 0, 0. Okay, so that should work. Unless... No. Ah, that's why. Okay. Ha! I was being stupid. Make sure I delete the right one this time. This is the problem when I have too many comments. It gets kind of hard to read my code. Ugh. Am I good at pixel art? I am passable at pixel art, as you can see from my little avatar guy. I actually need to update his colors because my glasses were... I was trying to stay true to my real-life glasses, but I feel like it kind of comes across weird because, you know, I'm so pale. So I really need to darken the glasses a little bit, make the metal less middle gray and more dark gray. So I know how to do certain pixel techniques, but I'm nowhere near like a professional artist for pixel art. I wish I was, but that takes a lot of time, and I do not have the patience for it, I think. Okay. So this is our very simple and quick format non-alloc. Well, thank you, William. Always fun to get a visit from the cheer train. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and you know what? We'll just leave it like we'll leave it with one element right now, and then I'll come back later to add the other ones because they're just gonna do the same thing for the most part. All right, so let's go ahead, go back to session utility, and I am going to change this. All right, so now we should be able to format a string builder without generating garbage and without appending a output on top of it. So let's see how that looks this time. Oh no, cheer icons don't work here? I feel insulted, Twitch. Or maybe it's just in general, who knows? Either way, welcome everyone! You're about to see an empty screen and me pressing space. As soon as it compiles. Okay, so that's the autosave. Hooray! Although it doesn't increment, which is kind of a little weird. So let's see here. Autosave index. Let's see, index plus plus. Oh, this is interesting. Is this is not... Huh. Okay then. Let's go to autosave index real quick. Alright, so if active save index is less than 1, file manager exists, we're going to create our index. So this is basically the structure I use to determine how autosaves work. If we boot this up, this is an index file, TextQuest save index, that just has a number in it, and then that number gets incremented from 1 to 3, and then it just goes back to 1, so that as you make autosaves, it will automatically start deleting the old ones and repopulating them with new content. That way you don't just, get to 3 autosaves and then just update the last autosave. We want to make sure that we cycle so that you get a good, healthy balance of new and old content. Hello! I'm going to try really hard to get these names right, and I'm terrible. So, Chokladmus. The D is what makes it hard. Hello! It's Prime not resubbing automatically. Ah, okay. Hello, Loser 566. It is heavily inspired by that. I started messing with that style back in college, and I kind of changed a little bit of it. But yeah, it's heavily inspired by Code Monkeys. Good eye, though. Well, not though. Good eye. Let's see here. Okay, so we need to figure out why our active save index here is not incrementing as it should. So let's go ahead and see where this is going. Go to definition. Okay, so that's just an actual thing. Why did I? Oh, it's because it's a static. That's why. Well, why do you think that you are not 1? Is it because the save index path is wrong? That could be it. I don't believe that that's the case, but let's find out. I'm going to go ahead and debug this. So we'll just go ahead and say debug.log active save index. So this is actually important because as of right now, since our active save index does not seem to increment and wrap correctly, it seems like our autosave system would be broken. So we want to say active index is less than 1, then that means that it's not populated yet. So we want to go ahead and do that. Otherwise, we are going to automatically increment it. So let's go ahead and say find all references. There it is. I set it. So we want to say active save index is equal to value. And we are going to, well, no, where are you incrementing it? I forgot my own code because it's been so long since I've been back here. Let's see. Here we are. Autosaves count, save index, value. But really, nothing seems to reference it. Well, it's kind of odd. Well, okay then. I'm actually willing to bet that this is because I am just doing this without actually saving a file. Yeah, there it is. Autosave file name is what I wanted there. And I actually don't want to do that. I want to change that to just autosave name. Autosave name. So that should give me a constant. Yep, that's what I wanted. And we are going to say, in addition to that, autosave index plus plus. Okay, so where am I using you? I'm using you here, which is, that's where it's being saved out to. That's probably not great. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that. In that case, we probably would want to say autosave file path, which I don't think is actually being referenced anywhere yet. I am completely wrong about that. Autosave file manager exists. This all makes sense. Should be incrementing. Okay. So let's go down to here. I'm going to grab this. And should I put it here in autosave file path? I mean, it's not great. Maybe it should go to autosave file. Let's find all references. There we go. So this is the one we want to increment in. We'll go ahead and say if autosave index is greater than or equal to 1. Because otherwise, it's going to be 1. So let's see what that does. Because that should be it. Okay. So now we should get a properly cycling autosave index. At least I hope so. Otherwise, I will look a fool. And also, people would know that I'm not perfect. And that can't be true. Abracadabra. I command you to compile. I really do need something for my avatar to do whenever a compilation is happening. Do like a Sonic look at your watch situation. Although waving your finger with that aesthetic would be kind of hard. Not exactly set up for that. Ooh, okay. Okay, well, not quite. Not quite. It's appending it onto the end there. That doesn't even make sense. I told it not to append anything. Well, let's take a look at that. Although it's interesting that it's coming back as 1. Let's see here. Session utility. Let's just go over here. Autosave file path. Go to definition. So we should automatically increment it. Let's go to format non-alloc. Go to definition. Go to this. All right. So arg0 is the thing that we are handling. Now the question is, do we... This returns a string builder, doesn't it? It does. Well. Let's make sure that it's not appending it then. Go to definition. Alright, so here's our argument. Let's see. Argument is an int 32 because it's an integer. We are concatenating it. That's not exactly what I would prefer. But I don't actually want it to do that, which means I need to change this. So let's go to I'm not going to definition, final references. Go back to where we're looking at it. Okay, so we're going to have to do something similar to concat format value, except we're just going to format the value instead of concatenate it. So actually we're going to go back, and I'm going to copy this. Paste this down here, and we're going to just get rid of that little bit, and we're going to just say format value. Haha! Alright, so we have a string argument. Okay, so we are no longer going to concat this. And instead, we need to determine, the value that we want to replace there. Which just means, actually, hold on. Scroll back up here. Right. So we essentially want to just swap out the characters, which would actually make this a little bit easier. I pity the fool that doesn't cycle indexes correctly. Yeah. It's weird. This must have been happening for a while if it's... Well, no, I started changing my session utility stuff last weekend because I was generating garbage every time I tried to request a path. I was just concatenating strings together. I didn't cache that. So I started caching that, and I want to make sure that every time you call save, it only generates whatever garbage is associated with creating files. It doesn't really make sense for us to have garbage generated every time it auto-saves. And I'm pretty sure that I can get that down to 0. So let's go up here first, because this is the... Yeah, we want this one. So we want to say format value. Format. And let's see here. We want to... Interesting, hold on. Is it really not going to give me this? Let's see here. So we need to keep track of where our index is when we hit our value, or when we hit our key arguments, which in this case I've just got 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, because I have to have I can only have a finite amount of arguments for garbage-free generation. Because unfortunately the generic garbage, or the generic format settings for string.format will generate a fair amount of garbage because it has to box everything, and then there's also some overhead associated with params as a keyword because that initializes a new array even if you only have one object. So by having finite hard set amounts that I can format, it's a little restrictive, but because of that I can make optimizations. And the problem here is that I need to keep track of where my format char is. Okay. So let's see here. If value is equal to this, with padding, no, we don't care about that. X, blah, blah, blah. So we essentially just want to convert it and then get it back. But the problem is I need to pass in the index for it to come back to what it was doing. And I don't want to do concatenation here. That's the thing. I just want to swap it out, essentially. Well, we'll spend like 2 more minutes on this, and then I'm going to move on, because I hate looking at the same code and me just going, on the Devstream. It always makes me feel bad. I'm supposed to be entertaining, or at the very least, good white noise. And I get the feeling that and ha aren't that great. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let's see here, format value. So we get our type, which is the type that we're casting to, and we want to not concatenate. We want to just replace it, which means that I think I'm actually not even going to be able to use this value. I'm going to instead have to just do a straight up conversion on the spot. So let's see here. Format value arg0 padding. Okay. Wait, hold on. This is... dang it, I almost always end up editing the wrong function. This is the problem when you have large functions and tons of comments. It actually makes it more confusing to look at. Of course, it's great when you're coming back to a work after, like, you know, a year, but it's terrible when you don't remember what it is. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next task, because it's not entertaining to watch on the stream. So we're just going to do this. A little bit of a cop-out, but for now that's fine. We'll just generate some garbage. Alright, so let's go ahead and we're going to do a quick run-through now from the start of the game up to the end of the first level. And we're going to keep an eye on garbage being generated and see where performance hits are. Because we're doing a little bit of a performance pass today. And we'll let that finish compiling. Because you don't want to rush Unity. You know, if it hurries too much, the compilation will be all wrong. Alright. So let's hop back to my scenes. Let's see here. Scenes. Other. Oh, not that. Slash fade. I hate it when I accidentally click on the wrong asset and then it goes through a lengthy process of opening it up just so that I can close it right away. Alright. Well, while that's going on, are there any other quick optimizations that I can make in here? Let's get rid of you because I don't really need you. I think we'll be fine. Of course, I say that, but we have to wait for Unity. So we might as well take a look at things. Let's see. There we go. Well, while we're waiting for compilation, how's everyone's night going? How was William's stream? I didn't get a chance to go over and see it. I saw he started streaming, but he always starts like right before I get off work, and then ends a little bit before my stream. So it's never really a good time for me to watch him on days that I stream. I always feel bad about that. All right. So, oh crap! No, no! I forgot to pull up the profiler. That's kind of the important part of profiling. Is the actual profile window. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open up. I always have trouble finding this for some reason. Wait, what? Profiler, there it is. There it is. Fmod stuff. Yeah, that's something I've been meaning to get into myself, actually. Mostly just to see what really Fmod integration with Unity looks like. Okay, so we got a pretty big spike here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and stop playing because I forgot to do something. I need to turn on deep profiling, which I know is going to hurt our performance a little bit, but I need to make sure I have that on. Otherwise, it's not really useless if you don't have deep profile on, but you definitely have situations where you're like, okay, I know that this call is generating garbage, but you don't know what part of the call is actually generating garbage. So deep profile is just the best way to go when you're doing this sort of stuff. Unfortunately, I still have not fixed the weird Unity serialization issue where it takes 20 seconds to stop playing. Need to figure that out. I really should profile the editor, actually, but that would just bog down everything. So we're gonna try not to decimate my CPU on the Devstream, mostly because I feel like that kind of makes it harder for you guys to see it properly. I feel like that's at a certain point going to start eating into my actual ability to transmit smooth video. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what causes it. I know it started happening randomly one day, and I even went to the guys at Unite last year, and I, brought my laptop, showed it to them. I'm like, "Have you ever seen this?" And they're like, "Oh no, I don't know what's going on there." They didn't really have any solutions for me. They were just like, just profile things, I guess. And it's weird because it's not like I do anything particularly intensive in this first scene. It's just a huge lag spike for some reason. Okay, so we're hitting about 60 frames, which is good. I probably should actually, I'm going to go ahead and go into, not extras, options. We're going to turn off frame locking. I want to see what that does, because I typically lock it to 60 frames, but turning that off should give us a little bit, it'll give us a little bit more of screen tearing, I think, but it'll also free up our profiler to go above 60. So let's go back. And we're actually still hitting about 60, so that's... Although most of that is... It still says VSync. Really? Okay, it must automatically be VSyncing my editor. Ugh, jeez. Well, we'll go along with this for now. So I'm going to do a new game. It's been a while since I've done this, so it'll be good to actually test that it works, too. That's not a Y. Normal mode. Right-handed. My favorite color is green. And, of course, I'm a hero. So let's go ahead and start the game. Did not like that little hiccup there where it kind of showed the bare level for a bit. Okay, so we're getting a bit of a lag spike there. Oh, hello. Okay. Well, look at that. It did not automatically complete. Okay then. But it took a screenshot, which means that that's where it thinks that we're ready to basically move around. As a quick test, I kind of want to see this. I'm going to go focus on the hero real quick. I'm going to try... Oh, crap. Can't do that. I'm going to turn off maximize on play. I'm going to try walking around. Okay. So I can't move. And that means that my loading screen here is not ending correctly. Okay. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and check out... Let's stop playing first. Check out what happens when we finish our new game. Oh, wrong thing. So we go to our new game menu. Game. Oh, sorry, new game view. And let's see, new game view. Okay, so it steps us through all of our processes, all those questions that we get at the start of the game. And then we are going to want to go to here. All right, start game, go to definition. We create our save file, reset values, we load scene. All right, let's go to definition. Let's make sure that we do everything the way we would expect. Let's go to definition here. Load the screen in. We will... Sync level is done. Current manager, generate materials, that's all fine. If show load... Ah! I bet that's probably... There it is. Okay. Else, we are going to fade in. Interesting. Actually, let's go to finish load. Oh, not that. Not peak. I want to go to definition. Okay. If current minigame does not equal null, current minigame... Ah! There we go. I need to do that. Else. That makes way more sense. I just commented something out because I was a fool! Make sure that does everything I would expect. Alright. We'll give that one more shot. Obviously, it'll be perfect this time. And I guess while we're here, I might as well take a look at my profiler, which I have open in my second window. So I'm sorry you guys can't see it. Looks like not really generating too much garbage. Couple of send mouse events, which are things that I can't control. Couple of camera render calls. And GUI.repaint, which are things that I do not think I can fix. Let's see here. Once that compiles, I can drag the window over to show you guys. There we go. So this is what showed up real quick through that 5-second test before I failed utterly. we have, I think the only thing that's really going to be something that I can fix is this call right here, which deals with how we update the character's transform. And I actually can't even guarantee that I can do that, because this is done with internal character controller stuff. So that's 80 bytes per frame that we're generating. But everything else, I'm pretty sure, is either third party or is something that I really can't do much with. Really? Audio spline? Huh. Okay, that's interesting. So there are two audio splines in the castle scene, and they are nowhere near you at the start. But I guess it makes sense that their overhead would still exist. I didn't realize that they had some garbage that they were generating. It's also weird because the audio spline is invisible, so why does it have an on-render object? Oh, I guess that's an editor call. So that actually might be something that I don't have to worry about. It might just be something that only exists in the editor. On mouse events, I can't do anything about. That's TextMesh Pro, and that's a whole other ball of wax that I can't really fix. Okay, so let's take another crack at this. We've probably got about 30 seconds. Quick, I need a name and a favorite color. Oh, crap. I probably should also have turned on maximize on play. There we go. Alright, so we're going to say start. Wasn't a fan of that. It looks like it popped in. We'll go to new game. And I guess I'll just use my name again. I don't know how bad the delay is on the Devstream, so it might not even... you guys might not have even been prompted by me yet. Okay, so I'm going to say Chris. Yes, normal mode, right-handed. Favorite color is green, and yes to everything. Okay. See, now that's what I was expecting last time. Oof. Wow, really? 30? Hold on. Let me go to options, display. Why are you 30 locked? Okay, that makes way more sense. There we go. I was like, man, it's chugging. Still kind of is. But I'm assuming that this jumpiness has to do with having the profile window open. It also might not really be that noticeable on the dev stream, because I only stream at 30 frames per second, but there's kind of like a weird little stutter that's very noticeable when you're playing, at least to me. Alright, let's go ahead and actually try interacting with some stuff. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, we're going to pause something real quick, because I think something got borked on my hero character. Let's go to interaction. Yeah, that's right. Interesting. Huh. Okay, so the door works. But what's up with the scepter? Can I interact with the armor? Wait, time out. What? Both of these are... Okay, what is up with this? Their layer is messed up. Because I can interact with the door, which means that it's on the right layer. Although I guess I'll make sure. Yeah, interactive. What about you guys? Yeah, you're in the interactive layer. But then why can't I... Interesting. So what should happen here, when I look at these armored guys, or the paintings, I should get a little... My crosshair should change from a dot to a crosshair, like here. And it's interesting. I don't know why it would work on the door. Wait. Time out. What the heck? Okay, so that's just because I'm not close enough. That's fair. What about you guys? Why can I not... What is going on there? Okay, not sure what's happening here. We haven't had this. Let me go ahead and I'm curious to know if the other door works or if certain paintings do. No? So the doors work, but nothing else does. Wait. What, seriously? So this painting works. Time out. Examine. Crafted by... Yeah, looking at the paint. What the heck is up with this? It's sporadic. Okay, now it's consistent. You're consistent. But now I can't interact with it. Now I can. Okay. Interesting. Go ahead and come over here. Am I, like, raycasting into myself somehow? That doesn't really make sense, especially because, well, there isn't anything for me to interact with. Camera cold. I mean, maybe the model? No, because there's no colliders. What is going on here? Huh. I've not seen this before. Zoom this. Jeez, it is really hard to play this game with the editor profiler going. It really slows you down. Seriously? Can I, like, jump up? Something is blocking me. Okay, so that explains things. But now, time out. Tell me it's not the UI, please. Love of all things holy. Okay, it's not the UI. But something is blocking me. Cool! This is fun. Let's figure this out. So I have an invisible object around here that is preventing me from interacting with my props. Let's find out where it is. I don't see anything really standing out. This is usually a symptom of a trigger that's left over somewhere, but nothing really stands out to me. Wherever it is, it must be like right along this line. Nothing really seems to exist. Okay. Well, guess what? We're going to do a couple of things. One, I'm going to stop playing. Two, I'm going to go over to interact. We are going to clear some stuff up. Let's go over here. I'm going to go to interact. I'm sorry, interaction. All right. We are going to just straight up debug what the name of the object that we're hitting is. So non-alloc hits of 0. Because I want to know what it is that is blocking me. Okay. That should be right. Let's go ahead and let that compile. While that's going on, I'm going to take a look at some of my more intense scripting. Script run behavior, late update. And of course it's a scroll rect. Jeez. All the freaking UI stuff that I can't fix. 24 kilobytes of garbage in one frame. Oof. That is not okay. But I don't think I can actually get around that, because that's going to just be rebuilding meshes all the time, isn't it? Ugh. Unity UI. Not exactly the most elegant thing ever. All right. So we should now have a quick debug going that will let me see what it thinks I'm hitting. I'm very curious to know what this is. I'm also going to go ahead and close the profiler window for now so that we don't get those massive performance hits. Gotta stretch. Otherwise, you get carpal tunnel. And I keep forgetting to turn on maximize on play. Through here. It's almost how you type start. Let's see. We're just going to go ahead and continue. Hall interior? I'm so confused. Like, what the heck is happening here? It's clearly correct. Hold on. Timeout, timeout, timeout. I'm going to turn off maximize on play. Keep an eye on this. So it still thinks that we're hitting the hall interior. What? Okay, let's take a look at this. So the hall interior should be using a bounding mesh collider. Yeah. It should be physically impossible for me to hit that first. Like, that should definitely come after any of these things. Why does it think that it's... What's happening here? I don't have two heroes, do I? Nope. Huh. Okay. Well, I actually had something like this happen to me at work today. And I couldn't solve it there either. It seems like the non-alloc hits are not being populated the way I would expect. So what the heck is going on here? So we're getting... The first thing it thinks that it's hitting is the walls. That makes no sense. Okay, there's the carpet. Tiles, floor. There's the tablecloth. And it just... Really? What the heck? It ignores everything that's interactable. That doesn't even make sense. I'm legitimately confused. So our non-alloc hits should only be an array size of 1. Yeah. Which should just return... so the way that physics.nonalloc or raycast non-alloc works is it populates an array with raycast hits that are ordered according to distance. So the closest things you hit are first, and the farthest things that you hit are, last. But it seems like in this case, it's either not hitting the scepter or the armor or the paintings. But that cannot be true because I know that it works. Like, we can mess around with it by just moving. Except it's not now. What the heck is going on here? Okay, it worked there. It works there. And it works if I'm on this side. I don't even... What the heck? Is order not guaranteed? I thought that it was. Mostly because if it's not, then there's no way that you can... There's no real way that you can guarantee that you would only get one hit back. I mean, presumably, I would have to say that it has to be guaranteed, right? Because otherwise, how would physics.raycast work if they can't guarantee prioritized first hit. But you can see that it's weird, right? Because why would... I also got it like briefly there. Wait. Time out. If I go through them, does it work? I think it does. Oh, I think it does. Oh, why? Oh, jeez. It's raycast non-alloc, which is supposed to be in order of distance. So closest one's first, farthest one's last. And I mean, it would kind of make sense maybe that like an imprecision if this was really small. But this is standard scale. This is 1 meter size. So the distance between this armor and this painting should be, from the looks of it, I don't know, at least 1/3 of a meter. And it's weird because like no matter how far I back up, that armor never gets picked up on. Like I'm mashing the E key to try and get it to detect it, but it doesn't. And then it's weird because if I do that over here, like it detects doors just fine. And it detects this painting just fine. It seems to be localized only to this area. Except for this one. This one also is not working. And we notice that these guys will work if behave a little odd because of this. So, like, right here, it doesn't think that I'm interacting with anything, which is odd. Like, it just, yeah, straight up nothing. So if I go to the right, nope, that seems to work. Okay, so I can kind of, like, squeeze up against here. It seems like after I turn past a certain point, it stops. That's weird. So, yeah, right about here, you can see that it just kind of, like, stops as I look to the right, but not if I move right. Huh. That's odd. You have code that searches for the closest hit. Well, but the thing is, like, the first hit should be the closest hit. Because they should be prioritized by distance. I think there's a couple of answers on the Unity forums about people asking about this particular issue, and a Unity dev almost always comes in and says, like, it's prioritized by distance. It could be a bug. But it's weird because we haven't seen this issue in like the plains level. It seems to be something specific to the castle level and only in specific areas. Like I can't do that here, but I can look at it from this direction. What the heck? I'm really curious if it's just like a certain direction I can't look in for some reason. It's got to be something stupid that I've done. So I'm going to try looking to the right, and if it cuts off, it does. But that could also just because it's too far away. Okay. This is so weird. Because, yeah, like, what the heck? I don't understand. What do you think you're hitting right here? It thinks we're hitting the hall interior. But here, we're hitting a model, which is probably the armor. Yeah. Huh. Okay. I guess, yeah, the best way to test that is going to be to just increase the size that gets allocated here. So let's go to start. Let's go ahead and change this to like 5. And let's just increment through that to see what we get. So we're going to go ahead and say for int I equals 0, I is less than non-alloc hits dot length I plus plus. Set a breakpoint in my code and see if the first isn't the closest. I guess we'll just see how far off these are. So we'll say debug. Well, hold on. We'll say if non-alloc hits of I dot collider is not equal null. Make sure we don't try to debug default values. Then we're going to say debug dot log non-alloc hits of I dot distance, and we'll also put the name in there. So non-alloc hits of I dot transform.name plus plus that. Okay. So let's see what it populates as. I've not seen this issue before. It's incredibly infuriating. So that means that if they prioritize physics through something like physics.raycast, then you're guaranteed to get good results. But if you don't do that and you use the non-allocation or the non-garbage allocating version, that is not guaranteed accuracy. That's really weird. Well, I guess we'll find out. It has to be something really stupid that I did. Like something really subtle and small that I wouldn't think about. It's really hard to believe that this is like that this would be acceptable to Unity. Let's go ahead and hit continue here. Okay. Interesting. It is. You're right. Well, what the heck? Why bother? There's all hull interior. And there's the model. Huh. That is incredibly weird. Part of the allocation. I guess. That's really annoying, though. Fine. Yeah. So I guess that means that... Gross! I have to just find the shortest one and use that. That grossly complicates things. Great. Great. I love it. Okay. So we're going to need to get the index that's useful here. Instead of using 0, we're going to have an int that we set. So I will do so, I guess. Let's go ahead and we'll add a function down here, and we'll say private void get interaction index. And we'll say for int I equals 0, I is less than interactions. Oh, crap! What did I call it? Non-alloc hits. Dot length. I++. What's really disappointing about that, though, is that it means that I can't just, allocate an array of one element. I have to allocate it for multiple things. Jeez, that's really annoying. Gross. Okay. Also, that's not void. That's going to be an int. And then we'll return 0 by default. And otherwise, we're going to say if... Oh, jeez, I have to store it. Ugh. Okay. Ugh, jeez. Int index is equal to 0. We'll return index. This is really, really, really annoying because I have to have a float, too. Jeez. Distance is equal to 0f. Actually, no, we want this to be mathf.infinity because we want it to be smaller. And we're just going to say if non-alloc hits dot distance, of I dot distance is less than distance. Then we're going to say index is equal to I and distance is equal to non-alloc hits of I dot distance. Okay, so that means we'll come up here. That's so disappointing. Means that I have to put way more effort into my non-alloc stuff for physics. Ugh. Well, thank you for pointing that out, Garrett. I probably wouldn't have guessed that it was a Unity side problem. I would have guessed that it was just me. You can cheat and skip if hits are equal to 1. Well, but the problem is that... that's true. I guess that's is true. But that's even more annoying though. Oh no. Oh, okay. We're gonna actually change this a little bit. So I'm going to go over to physics extensions. So I'm going to make a new function that will raycast non-alloc, and it will return a int, so the number that it is expecting. Well, no, it will return. Yeah, it'll return an int, which is the number that it's expecting, and it will also populate an index to be used for the closest hit. Ugh. That's really annoying that I have to do it like this, but sure. So I'm going to say public static int, and I guess I want to just call it raycast non-alloc again. Yeah. Raycast non-alloc. Distance? Well, yeah, we'll say raycast distance. Non-alloc. Okay. I will return 0 for now. And we're going to say if physics.raycast non-alloc based off of... Okay, so we're going to need to pass array and our results. So we'll say raycast hits. So we'll say array hits. I guess I'll call that results. Okay, in addition to that, we probably want things like max distance. Okay, so float max distance followed by layer masks, and that's probably good for now. Layer mask. Oops. Layer mask. Okay, so all I'm going to do here, I guess, is say int count is equal to that. And then we're going to automatically loop through it. Oh, crap. I forgot. We want to say out distance index. I'll say closest index. There we go. Oh, and that should be an int. Okay. Let's see. I put my code in Discord over in DevTalk. Oh, thank you. I think the ref on parameters might not be needed. Yeah, ref is not really needed for arrays because they're reference values already. Closest hit. Well, yeah, that would populate it. Yeah, I think you're pretty much doing what I was doing. Well, what I'm planning on doing. Except you're returning a raycast while I'm... Well, you're outing to a raycast, and I'm outing to an integer. All right. So we have our count, so then we're going to say if count is greater than 0. We'll do that. And otherwise, oh, we actually want this to return count. Why are you unhappy? Oh, okay. I was going to say, like, what's wrong with you? Else, we'll say closest index is equal to 0. You're still mad. Oh, right, because of this. Okay. So we want to say if, well, I guess we'd say if count is greater than 1, then we're going to do something else. We'll just do a cheat, and we'll say, oh, you know what? Why do I even bother? I can just do this if it's greater than 1. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to say for int I equals 0, I is less than results dot. Well, no, it probably should actually be count is less than count. I plus plus, because that way I don't iterate through things that I don't need to iterate through. And with that, I can say if... nope, I got to do the same thing I was going to do anyway. So we're going to say... I don't actually need a new index value, but I do need a distance. So I'm going to say distance is equal to mathf dot... not that. Infinity. Aha! And then we're going to say if results of I dot distance is less than distance, then I'm going to say distance is equal to results of I dot distance, and I will also say closest index is equal to I. Are you serious? Is that because it's in a for loop? I guess I can just do this. That's fair, I guess. Okay. So that should handle that. Interesting. I've never had something squiggle me over a for loop before. All right then. So we have a function now that should allow us to more or less do, whatever we conveniently cast non-alloc raycast generating. Well, I'm babbling. We have a function now that will do non-garbage generating raycasting and automatically give us a closest index for it. I'm going to go ahead and simplify this too, so I'm going to have a similar function that does pretty much the same thing, just without layer masking. So we're going to get rid of you, get rid of you, and we probably I bit my tongue. Wow, I have not done that in forever. So we probably also want one that doesn't have max distance, and then after that we'll be good. So let's go ahead and just copy this one more time. This. Okay. And we're going to get rid of max distance. Not that it really matters, I guess. In fact, I could really just cheese this and say return raycast distance non-alloc with ray results mathf.infinity. And then this is interesting. I've never passed references like that, like just chained them. Okay, so that should work. Let's go back to interaction. And I'm going to go ahead and say, we're going to get rid of this. And we are going to change this to, wow, not even close. Physics extensions dot raycast distance non-alloc with a distance range of that much, and then I'm also going to go ahead and say out, I'm just going to call it index for now, and we'll say int index is equal to 0. Okay, so that should now be what I would expect. Okay, so let's make sure I'm not just using 0 anymore, we're using the correct values. Okay, let's try that now and see if we actually get usable values. Huh. That is really annoying, though, that they don't guarantee order. Huh. Certainly makes it annoying to... So does that mean that I'm going to be generating garbage anyway? Like, if they can't guarantee order by doing something as simple as what you did, Garrett, and what I'm doing here, like, I'm a little concerned now that I'm just going to be generating garbage by trying to reference distance even. Well, I guess we'll see. Maybe they just did it so that they wouldn't sort. Yeah. I guess, well, no, that doesn't make sense either. The only thing I can think is that they don't guarantee order because doing so would require reordering the elements of an array, and maybe they would have to generate more elements in order to store that. So that's kind of understandable, but still kind of dumb. So let's go ahead and play. Try this out again. It's just weird because people on the forums, like Unity devs, have said that it should prioritize distance, but that, I guess, isn't true. It's very annoying. Let's go ahead and hit continue. Yep, that seems to fix it. I can't just like mash these keys. Uh-oh, hold on. Okay. Whew. So that's just far enough out that I can't even... There it is. Okay. Yep, that seems to work. Man. Well, that's really annoying. Okay. Big sounds. Well, let's go ahead and... I'm going to go ahead and stop playing real quick. I'm going to open up the profiler again, and I will deal with this. God, that's really going to complicate things. That means that I need to... Jeez. So first up, I guess we're going to double check that this does not generate garbage. And then second, once we confirm that, I guess I'm going to have to replace all of my physics.nonAlex stuff to... I'm going to have to replace it to use this. Well, that's kind of disappointing. But what are you going to do? One day. Alright, let's go over to Window. And just because I said that, it's going to take forever. We're going to go to Profiler. Okay, let's take a look at this. Things will be a little choppy, but we should get performance reporting. And I guess we can turn on Maximize on Play again. Let's go through here, hit start. We're just going to continue. Is that really the garbage? Holy crap. Wait, hold on. Hold on. Camera render. Okay, it's still seems to be fine. Let's go ahead and... Okay, so I'm going to look at this real quick. It looks like I got a little bit of a spike in menu controls.update. Okay, that's the UI.get stuff, so we can't really clean that up much more. Let's see, what else do we have? Post late update player update canvases. Well, that's not something I can control. That's UGUI. Update send mouse events, repaint, mGUI. Man, yeah. There is not a lot there that I can really work with here. We do get a little bit of a spike when we interact with an object, and that, the largest garbage collection allocation going on is almost 200 kilobytes. And I have to assume that this is more scroll rect stuff. It is, which means that it's TextMesh Pro stuff, which is sad. Dang, so that's 200 kilobytes of garbage just every time you open up this thing. Okay, not exactly what I was expecting. Let's go ahead and type examine. I just want to see where some of my spikes are. Really? Do I get a spike like that every time? Man. Run delayed dynamic frame rate, coroutine. There's a... What the freak? Splash delay? That can't be right. Input view. There we go. On submit. Man, sometimes this profile window is super weird with its pathing. So somehow we're going through the splash delay script, And we're eventually getting to where the actual garbage being generated is, which is the input view. That makes sense. Because it has to instantiate some stuff. It has to do some string concatenation and parsing. That all makes sense. Interesting though. I'm curious to see where in my parser a lot of the garbage is. So we receive input, we check homages. That makes sense. Those are straight string comparisons, so they really shouldn't be generating much. Although this is, which I guess makes sense because then it has to it has to look through the dictionary. Get cheat does not generate anything. That's good. But we do generate garbage somehow, which is not okay. Huh. See, there it is. Oh, well, no, that's string, so. Huh. Where's this garbage allocation coming from then? Let's see, we have parser.receive input, get homage, first or default. Okay, so we can clean that up. Let's go to TQ dictionary. Okay, so we need get word. Is that right? No, it was get homage, right? Yep. Get homage. So I don't want to do first or default because that's link, and that is going to generate garbage. Let's go ahead. I'm going to move this over. We're going to stop playing. I'm going to clean up this garbage. Both metaphorically garbage and literal garbage because of terrible coding practice from the past. All right. So for that, we are going to want to say what is referencing this. Make sure it's only the one line. And it does check to see if homage is null, in which case that's good, because now I no longer need to do first default, although that was actually returning null anyway, wasn't it? So we're just going to say null, and then we're going to say for int I equals 0 is less than homages dot count I plus plus. Although actually there's no reason why homages can't be a dictionary now that I think about it. Or not a dictionary, array. An array. I wonder if that would... it would complicate the parsing process. I'm just going to keep it as a dictionary for now. Or list. I don't know my own enumerables. Alright, so we're just going to say if the phrase to lower, that is not okay. To lower is going to give me garbage. But I can, I think, do this. H dot phrase. Wow, that was terrible. Homages of I dot phrase dot equals. And then we should be able to use string comparison type. So we're going to say is equal to phrase followed by system dot string comparison dot, and we want to say invariant culture ignore case, I believe. Is that right? Or is it ordinal? It's one of those two. One of them is way worse than the other. Crap, I don't remember which. Hold on. I have this in a doc because I've been working on optimizations at work. So let me see. I'm going to go to drive. Oh, it's probably on another drive. Okay, we're just gonna... No. I'll just find it later. I'm pretty sure that it's invariant. Or... dang it. I don't remember. I remember ordinal was in there, but I don't remember if it was the best one or the worst one. So I'm gonna do invariant culture ignore case. So if that's the case, then it should give us our homage back, and we'll just say return. Oh, sorry, not that. Homage is equal to homages of I. Then we'll break out. All right. So let's give that a shot. Although I guess we might as well do get word here too. So we're gonna say null. we go. Then we're just going to return new word here. Now we'll just do this. Same thing, so for int I is equal to 0, I is less than words.count, I plus plus. If words, wow, that was terrible. If words of I dot word dot equals word followed by system dot string comparison dot invariant culture, ignore case, then we will break and we'll say new word is equal to new TQ word. What is going on here? Is that seriously what I'm doing here? Ah, it's this. Words of I. Okay. So let's let that compile. While that's happening, I am going to look at my code real quick. Do I have anything else that's doing that? Oh, geez. Find all. It's not going to be fun. We'll leave that alone for now. Yeah, we got all these. So I'm doing a lot of terrible string practices actually with my dictionary, aren't I? Yeah, that is not great. Oh, and I'm even doing a for each loop. Ah, how long has it been since I've been in this class? Ugh. All right, let's go ahead and check that. So that call was made whenever I parse an entry. So whenever I have an input that needs to be parsed. And as of right now, it generates about 1.8 kilobytes for getting an homage, and presumably parser.receiveInput is doing way worse than that, but hopefully we can clean some of that up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and interact with that, and we're going to say examine. Let's give it a pause. And now, check homages is 0 bytes. Okay. Nice. Yep. So get homage returns 0 bytes now for garbage generation. We've lowered our general cost of garbage from those couple of fixes by about 20 kilobytes actually. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, 10 kilobytes. I was looking at milliseconds. Go ahead and drag this back over here. All right, so this is the call that was generating garbage. Where are you? Where did you go? Here we are. This is what was generating garbage before, and now it's not, which is always a good thing. And it looks like, yeah, I think we picked the right one. Let's see here. So we are still going to have some garbage being generated. String.split, which is part of the receive input call here. What about get word? Is that that's still generating garbage, which I guess makes sense because it's creating new words. But it doesn't need to. Yeah, we'll keep that as is for now, the word stuff, because there's some oddities that I have to deal with there. We are generating a little bit less garbage here. Enumerable.toArray, which is presumably... Wait, what? This is parser.receiveInput. Let's go to parser. Parser. That's not going to be very easy to find. Let's look for a receive input, actually. That'll be a little bit easier. There we go. All right. So we're doing, if it starts with that string or if it ends with that string, then we're going to interpret it as speaking, which is, of course, fun. And I don't think we're actually getting anything good from that. So we have receive input, and we're going to look for a toArray call, which is not really something that's here? I don't remember having the two array call. Check sheets. Again, that's just literal string matching. Checking homages. Oh, you know what? I actually should. I'm going to go ahead and run through and test homages real quick. Well, I mean, I guess it found my examine, so that means that something is right. But I just want to make sure that my homages are actually being... Why did I stop? Oh, I thought I wasn't playing for some reason. I'm an idiot. Well, we're not going to do that now, because that's going to take forever. So yeah, how about them codes? Let's see here. Oh, we can cache this. That is definitely something that we can cache. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to copy this. We're going to go up here to the very top. Oh, and actually, you know what? I'm also going to go ahead and just do that so I can have that easy to identify error. So I need a static array up here instead of generating a new one every time. Actually, I'm going to get rid of you, and we are going to have this up at the top, I think. So we're going to say private static that. So this is going to be a char array. So we're going to say char. We'll call this split chars. It's equal to that. Cool. So let's go back down here to our here, and then I can simply say split chars. All right. So let's see, receive input. That should function. Curious to see how that actually impacts our garbage, because that is a whole array of chars that does not need to be created every time I parse. Instead, it is merely going to be referenced. All right. Let that compile. Clear. And let's give it another shot. I feel like I might as well just move into the castle level instead of trying to go from splash fade all the time. I think that would actually improve iteration time a little bit. Let's go ahead and type start, continue. Okay. Examine. All right, so we're looking at... It's about the same, which I guess makes sense, right? Because we wouldn't really notice much of a difference on the first time. So let's drag this back over. Give you guys a good idea of what I'm doing. So we're getting set multiple sentences as the largest garbage generator there. But we probably, interesting. Okay. So reset parser generates a fair amount. I mean, well, not a fair amount. That's actually tiny, but I feel like we can get rid of that. And this enumerable to array. I don't know what's doing that. Enumerable where. We have a list being done and then to lower happening. So that's all about what I would expect. Okay. So we're going to go to parser.resetParser and see what's up there. I'm going to stop playing this time. So we want to go to reset parser, which should be up here at the top. Here we are. We clear our caches, but we're not like we're assigning stuff. Ah, here we are. It's probably this. Yeah, okay. Ugh. Yeah, okay. So rebuild away. So I don't want to do this where part. Instead, I probably should do a for loop here and say for int I equals 0. Oh, not that. I'm sorry. Is equal to interacting objects dot count. Seriously, do that to me. Interacting objects dot count minus 1. I is greater than or equal to 0. And I minus minus. So we're gonna, instead of doing this where search to remove interactions that we are no longer interacting with, so things that have been destroyed or removed in a way that you can't interact with them. That was what this where was doing originally, but instead of doing it in one line now, we're going to do it in a for loop, and we're just going to say if interacting objects, seriously? Interacting objects of I dot model dot active self, I'm sorry, if not that, and not interacting objects, seriously? There. Interacting objects of I dot in container. So if its model is not active and it is not in a container, then that means that we cannot interact with it. So we want to get rid of it. So we're going to say interacting. I keep typing interactive instead of interacting. Objects dot remove at not all at I. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Move this up to here. Ah, dang it. Okay. I hate it when I hit Control B instead of Control V. So we'll let that compile. So that should probably trim off the 224 bytes that the parser is generating. At least I hope it does, because that should eliminate the toList part and then the where call. So because we're getting rid of that entire line. So let's see what happens. The real question is making sure that it works. Well, not question, the real task would be that. Which is, of course, going to mean that we need to fly over to the chest in the bedroom and put something in it. Oh, crap. And then I need to somehow get rid of something. Do I have anything I can do that with? Not really. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and load into the castle so that we don't have to keep going through the splash fade here. I can just do it directly in the castle. So play. One of these days, Unity, you will work. Okay. Examine. Eat. Alright. So let's see here. It is looking like... Wow. Really? So let's see here. It's weird. Like everything. Updated mission? It's so strange. Why? Why does it do this? I just get like random calls. Like, these things don't make sense to me. Whatever. So we're looking for input view, receive input. Looks like we're down a little bit. That's good. Check cheats, check homages. Okay, string.split, still getting that. Let's see here. Get word, enumerable where. Reset parser, 0 bytes. Nice. I know it's kind of like a blood from a stone situation with this stuff. So I apologize that it's nothing too flashy programming-wise, but hopefully people are learning some nice to know garbage best practices, I guess. Alright, so we need to get rid of these string.toLower calls, which is something that should be fairly easy to do using our equals comparisons. Let's see here. Enumerable where. We still have that going on at some point, apparently. Enumerable to array, same thing. So let's go ahead and see what's going on. Oh, and I guess I'm going to move this over again. I'm going to stop playing. Yeah, because you can see like it immediately stops playing if I just stop playing while I'm not in the splash screen. It's so weird. Okay, so that works. Oh, but we need to test it real quick. So I'm gonna go fly over to the other side of the castle and interact with the chest, and just put something in it real quick. Fly! Okay. Take gem. It's in my inventory. Examine gem. Place gem in chest. Nothing in my inventory. Examine gem. Nice. Okay. So that works. And now we need to go to parser.setMultipleSentences. So we check homages, and then we get this, the split. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I can get rid of the cost for string.split because I need to obviously find these things. Well, okay. So I could maybe get around it, but it would suck. It would involve like passing strings wholesale and then doing char comparisons. So I really don't want to do that. So, excuse me. Need to get more sleep. I think 40 bytes of garbage generation is not that bad. Or I guess 80 bytes. 88 bytes. So for now, we'll keep that in there. I might, if I'm super obsessed about it later, I'll come back and fix that. But for now, it's fine. So let's move on to receive input, which will reset our parser, which now generates 0 garbage. Here is our where. Okay. Interesting. Is that even possible? That might be a performance hit from me being paranoid. I don't think it's actually possible for input here to be... Yeah, okay. So I don't need this line at all. That was a safety check to make sure that I did not have any instances of an empty string that was going to be attempted to be parsed. But that's irrelevant because I'm already getting rid of empty entries in this split command. So that's impossible for it to give me a string with nothing in it. So I don't even need that. Okay, so that's always nice. Let's take a look at the next chunk of code, which is set multiple sentences. Because the to array stuff here and the where were the bulk of the garbage being generated in this function. Do we have anything else that stands out particularly notably? Dictionary.getWord. Okay, we do all that fun stuff. Unknown words. TQ input.add. Unknown words. Okay, we're writing to our files. That all seems to be fine. Okay. And everything that's happening here is, well, it's a string builder, so actually that's fine. Are you serious? Why on earth would I do it that way? That is so garbage. Okay, well, let's fix that at the very least. Doing a string buffer, I can't believe that. Output.append. So we're going to say, well, no, can I? I can't really do that. Can I do that? I can't do that. Okay, so we'll append that. It's going to be appended twice. Second time of which will be actually that. And then in the middle, we're going to say unknown words of 0. I'm sorry, not 0, of I. Okay, so that should work. And then we're going to do the same thing down here. and it's going to be slightly different, but mostly the same. Okay, so this is going to be and that, then unknown words, followed by that and period. Okay. And that should be fine. Okay. So that's a little bit of an optimization we made there. I think that was just a length comparison there. We are just outputting a single string there, so that's ultimately what we're going to have to do. All right, so let's go to set multiple sentences real quick. So we grab our sentences, which are just lists of TQ words. Then we need to parse them all. Conjunctions. Yep. All this stuff. Sentences.add a new list. These are for conjunctions, which I don't need to really worry about. Set joint words. I'm worried about this. This is all just drilling down at this point. Interactive object dot check. Wait, really? Huh. So it's actually not that bad on garbage generation once we get to set multiple sentences. Set joint words looks like it does generate a little bit of garbage, which is interesting. So that means that this is giving me a problem. Setting joint words. What am I doing here? That's stupid. Since not add, it's probably the list initialization, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's kind of looking like that's what that is. That is not ideal. Well, let's see. Oh, it's because I have to kind of reiterate and look for obscenities and all that stuff again. List1.add, sentence constructor, parser, check for obscenities. Seriously? Check for obscenities? We dig back down. Wow. I guess that makes sense. It's a full thing. Okay. So that's going to trim off a little bit of garbage. But we are in kind of a rabbit hole here. Check verb, do verb, output results, parser.output results, input view.add text. We got to format output too. Jeez. Let's see what that looks like real quick. Format output. Go up here. Let's see. Output.replace. Ah, right. Yeah, that makes sense. Jeez. I kind of... that would be interesting. I wonder if it would make more sense, instead of passing strings through my parser, to pass string builders. I mean, that's a pretty major refit, and I wouldn't want to do that tonight, but... because at the end of the day, for the parser, it inevitably kind of casts everything to a string and then sends that information out. But that doesn't really do me any good if I still need to modify it, because that's just going to generate tons more garbage. So it kind of makes sense that we would just parse or pass around a string builder. But the problem is that this format output stuff is called... I mean... It's basically a nice way for us to format a string that's output and make sure that it does proper highlighting and such. But we can't guarantee that we would have a string parser or a string builder, because a lot of these things are like one-off quick sentences. Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, like, I can't really use it for the sentences themselves. I would mostly think I would want it for something like this output result, but I guess I can't really do that. Because, again, these output results are meant to just accept a quick one-off string and then just put those out onto the input view. So it doesn't really make sense to allocate the resources necessary for a string builder, even if it's a shared string builder, like it's just part of it, or it's just a static one that then gets regenerated or repopulated. That's still going to have a fair amount of garbage. But then again, I guess we would be able to get rid of it. I don't know, because at the end of the day, we would still have to convert it to a string. We couldn't really get anything useful out of that, I don't think. So I don't think it would be really worth the effort for this particular area, I guess. Um, that's kind of disappointing. But I mean, it's understandable. I'm obviously trying to really grind out all of the imperfections with the parser with regards to garbage generation here, and there is a finite amount that I can do that. Oh, hello, but we can totally optimize some of that stuff. So I need to go to session.getDifficulty. Let's just go to session. Oh, you're going to be mean about it, aren't you? There we go. So, session, looking at our profiler. Oh, crap. I hate it when I drag. Okay. So looking at our profiler, you can see that session is generating about 255 bytes of garbage. Whenever we get difficulty, that is definitely something that we can get rid of. Text section, I'm not sure about that. I think we can get rid of the garbage being generated there. Input view.scroll delay, can't really do anything about that besides moving into an update coroutine, which would suck. Yeah, because we're just getting that. So let's go over to session real quick. Difficulty, and here we are. So we get a session string, and interesting. Why should this matter? Contains key. I don't actually see... Ah, it's the 2enum, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Crap. So... That's not ideal. The bet... Yeah. Not really a fan of that. So... The problem probably comes from, it's probably twofold. One, I'm obviously casting this to string every time I request this. And two, I'm casting it back into an enum, which requires parsing via an enum and then trying to match strings. So I'm actually kind of curious if I can optimize that because, nope, it's just straight up parsing, isn't it? All right, so the way I would have to fix this, I don't think I can really do that right now. I need to change the way that I store enums. I talked a little bit about this on Saturday, actually, but the way I currently store enums is as the string form of the enum value. So, for example, if I have game difficulty normal here, and if I store that in my save state, then that becomes just the word normal, like the string normal. You can see that if I come over here to saves. Take a look at this. Oh crap, right, it's the... Let me boot up my save parser real quick to show you what I mean. Let's see here. Save file reader, build. Oh, wrong build. Here we are. So I keep track of what your save state difficulty setting is. So let's go ahead and select file. We're going to go to game development, Unity, text quest, build, text quest, saves. Okay. So you can see here that it becomes the word normal. But a better solution would actually be just to convert it into an integer. Because enums are easily castable to integers because they use integers as their serialization. So that means that I could store normal not as the word normal, but as the integer 10. And that means that when it gets read back in, instead of doing this toString call here, and instead of doing toEnum here, I can just straight up say, cast this integer to an enum and return that. And that should not generate any garbage. It should just give us the value that we want. But the problem is that's well, it's not a major refit. Actually, let's go ahead and try that real quick. So we're gonna go over here to saves. I'm gonna nuke everything, which will force it to regenerate when we start playing again. Um, and I'm just gonna change this from a string. Um, it's a little awkward because oh good, I have get session int. Sweet, cool. So we're gonna say get session int. We're gonna pass just that in. Pass its int value. I know you're mad. And then we'll cast it back as game difficulty. Okay. Very, very, I was going to say simple, but that's not entirely true. But the main task there is going to be this. So find all references where we're using this. Set string. It's in create save file, new game view. There we go. So this is going to be set session int. No longer to string, and instead now an int. Okay. And let's see here. What about you? That's exactly what it was. Difficulty. All right. So we want to say. Well, that's a little disappointing, but that's fine. We're going to say get session. Sorry. Okay. It's going to be get int value, I guess. And then we're going to have to cast that to an int. Oh, this is a little awkward. Game difficulty. Okay, and then we have to cast that to a string. Ugh. Little nasty. Although, actually, hold on. Let me peek definition here. I should only have, 3. I really should only have 2, but, okay, so for that, I think we can actually change this with constants. Oh, jeez, it's in a for each loop. Ugh, gross. Okay. Oh, and I'm also, really? Wow. I am terrible. That is so awful. Why would I generate it like this? So I'm doing a for each loop on a session call that just iterates, so or that will regenerate that list every single time. Ugh, I'm disgusted with myself. List string files is equal to this. Let me guess this is actually being referenced everywhere. It's not, surprisingly enough. Okay. Call this save files. All right. So that should actually generate a little bit of, well, a little less garbage in my load game view. I got a little distracted there. Let's go back here to session. Let's find this. Find all references. Let's keep focused on this for now. Difficulty dot to string. Okay, so this is, I'm assuming, in the save function. Yep. So we're going to change this. Instead of a string, we're going to make it an int. All right. I'm kind of curious to see what happens here. So I think we're pretty much caught up. So everything should be casting ints. Yep. All right. Let's see it. It's interesting. So that was part of session. So that was part of the parsing process, all the way down through item.output result, which is curious. Was I interacting with the scepter? We may never know, because Unity will take forever to compile. Okay. Go ahead, go back here. So that was generating about 255 bytes of garbage. And now it should no longer do so. So let's go ahead and play. Part of input view.add text. Okay. I guess that makes sense. So I have to, that call that was being made is whenever I output text, I have to check if I'm in Sierra mode, and if I am, I remove any highlighting. So I'm going to go ahead and just say examine eat. And then we're going to pause. Take a look at this. All right. So we want, let's see here. Everything is out still. Looks like we cut a few more bytes off. We are in interactive object, check phrase, check verb, do verb, output result. Output results is where we're constantly getting it. Okay. I think we're in a good spot. Well, let's stop playing. I'm going to look for that real quick. I just added flying/no clip to my game for debugging. Should have done it a long time ago. It's easy to. Yeah, it's not really that bad. You basically just disable gravity and collisions and fly in whatever direction you're staring at. Alright, I'm going to look for difficulty. Crap, really? So session.getDifficulty is still generating garbage. It's less than it used to be, but it's still there. Because it's a string? Oh, no, don't tell me it's cyclical. Ah! Hold on. Did I really do it like that? Am I really that dumb? I probably am. Ah, I knew it! Oh. Well, there's no real point to that. Oh, except they're stored as strings. Right. Well, we've reduced our garbage being generated there by about 200 bytes, but there's still some amount being done there, and that's because of this whole string thing. So I need to change that so that it's I guess a dictionary of objects. And then I just need to make sure that I'm getting the correct one. It's a little odd, but I'm going to go ahead and add a to-do here. To-do should store session values as objects, so they do not need to be cast to/from strings. Okay, I'm going to let that compile, and also I'm going to go ahead and relaunch my save parser because I want to make sure that it looks correct in the saving enum as an int looks correct. So let's go to game development, Unity, text quest, build, text quest, and saves. Interesting. Do I really not? Do I really not have anything? Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't save, did I? It doesn't automatically save when you load into a game, because that would just be a duplicate save file. Womp womp. Okay, so we might call it a night there. I realize we didn't do anything particularly exciting today. I apologize for that. But we did make a decent amount of progress on parser garbage. And of course, we figured out that apparently physics.raycast_non-alloc is non-reliable. So, or that's a little harsh. Rather, it's non-deterministic what gets returned to you in the first array element. And that is unfortunate because it means I'm going to have to change how my raycasting is done again. Fortunately, I don't have too many things raycasting, but it's still rather disappointing that that's the case. Okay. I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the night then. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.